Hey everyone, Nicola and Dr. K here with Trimodus.com, and we are back at it again today with a fun little edition I like to call This Not That Food Edition. So we are going to show you some of our most common foods that we see at the grocery store, and we're going to show you why you want to go with a different alternative to them. So Doc, I'm going to have you start with the pastas. So here we have traditional pasta and then our Banza pasta. This is a really good one. Do you want to kind of go over why traditional pasta might not be the best for everyone?
So with traditional pasta, we're gonna have gluten in there, and a lot of times with gluten, it's kind of become a little bit of a dirty type of grain because it's been modified. So because it's been genetically modified, our immune system doesn't do so well with it. So probably not this. I'm gonna go with these, which are more of I think a chickpea-based is a Banza noodle.
Absolutely.
And this is actually probably gonna get you a little more protein.
Yep.
That's 13 grams versus 9 per serving. So those are a couple of big reasons. Anything else?
Absolutely. And a huge pointer for my moms and dads out there, this is a great alternative and a sneaky way to get a little more protein in your kiddos' diet. They taste really, really good, and my daughter, at least I can speak for her, she doesn't know the difference between this and regular pasta. So, healthy alternative. All right, next up, Doc, let's talk soy sauce, or teriyaki, I should say. So, traditional teriyaki sauce, look at the ingredients. First ingredient, soy sauce, soybeans, wheat, yuck, wine, sugar, lots of bad stuff just out of the gate. And if you remember, the first ingredients are the ingredients that hold the most value in whatever it is you're looking at. So if we look at it, 1 tablespoon, you're getting some sugar in there, you're getting soy, which a lot of people have sensitivities to, wheat, again, that gluten sneaking in there, wine, and sugar. Whereas if you go with a non-soy teriyaki organic, we happen to like Primal Kitchen's version, it's literally water, organic coconut aminos, which is just coconut syrup, Himalayan salt, organic balsamic vinegar, organic concentrate grape, dates, all naturally flavored. So this is gonna be low inflammatory. This is gonna be very high inflammatory. So my ladies out there, when our stomach is poofy and gross and bloated, inflammation. When our stomach is flat and we see that six-pack, okay? We want those anti-inflammatories in there, and this would be a really good alternative. I use this as marinade. Do you use this on anything?
I love it. Yeah, and this one has a lot of sodium too, so like the salt content, you know, you're gonna have a lot of salt in your food already. You don't need to have salt. And if you can't pronounce the label, it's not gonna work out for you.
Yeah, there's a word on there Def can't pronounce. Let's do peanut butter, because this one is sneaky, and people don't realize it. Yummy. So we have 2 types of peanut butters in this world. One that's just made with peanuts, and another that's made with a lot of stuff.
Let's see, what do we have here? We got some peanuts, and then with sugar, some molasses, and here's the big one, fully hydrogenated vegetable oils. Those are probably the most inflammatory oil. So if there's a race to get the most inflamed, you want to slam as many hydrogenated vegetable oils as possible. That's what you would want to do.
Which is in so much processed food, you guys, and there are alternatives. It is the modern world. We live in this great world where people are coming up with creative ways to make healthy food taste amazing. This right here, Trader Joe's organic peanut butter, what's the ingredient?
Well, it's organic peanuts and sea salt. That's
it, 2 ingredients. When we're looking, this is a pro tip, when we're looking at ingredients, less is more, guys. Really pay attention to it. The average American, what is it, 160 pounds of sugar per year, I think it is, that they consume. 160 pounds. That's insane, you guys. And they get tricky, 2 tablespoons, there's 8 grams in just 2 tablespoons. So just in this little tiny snack, you're already at 8 grams for the day. And then if you continue down the processed food aisle, you're just gonna accumulate those sugars, okay? So the next one is, I really like almond flour and tortillas. Let's talk a little bit about that, Dr. K. I'm gonna let you run this one.
Well, we've got, and is it just because I'm half Mexican?
Totally.
Well, let me tell you. So, there's nothing better than my grandmother's tortillas, but unfortunately, when you get these packaged ones, all these are going to be flour, so that's going to be wheat and bleached flour. Once again, going to be a lot of carbs that are probably unneeded, and these tortillas are massive. But you're going to see, if you look at the ingredients, there's hydrogenated soybean oil and hydrogenated cottonseed oil, which actually cottonseed oil is pretty poisonous for us. But when you do these hydrogenated oils, once again, erase inflammation. You want to get there fast, get hydrogenated oils in there. So you've got wheat and hydrogenated oils and a bunch of things that we can't pronounce. Calcium propionate and scorbic acid, I don't know about it. However, we look here, the ingredients: almond flour, tapioca flour, water, sea salt.
Guys, and we're not saying you only have to eat whole foods. Again, we have these wonderful alternatives. Siete brand, they have tortilla chips, they have almond flour tortilla burritos, they have it all, and it is a great alternative to fit your needs.
And the other thing too, tons of protein.
Yummy!
You can't get much protein out of
They're
that flour.
so good, you guys, our favorite. Let's talk sriracha just really quickly. I just want to again point out sugar and ingredients. So if you want to look at that, Doc.
Let's take a look here.
Side by side.
Side by side, you got chili, sugar, salt, garlic, acetic acid, potassium sorbate, sodium bisulfate as preservatives, and xanthan gum. Contains sulfite.
Yikes.
This one: water, tomatoes, roasted red peppers, apple cider vinegar, honey, Korean red peppers, and sea salt.
Big difference.
Is a no-brainer.
No-brainer, and it tastes just like sriracha. So it's by Paleo Chef Sriracha sauce. We highly recommend this over just traditional sriracha, guilt-free. And again, we're getting rid of those sugars out of our diet, which, what does it do? Make us fat. So if you want the weight to be off, that's a good option. All right, let's do barbecue sauce. Ooh, barbecue sauce is a good one. People get tricked on that. What's the first ingredients in this traditional barbecue sauce, Doc?
High fructose corn syrup.
But it's a barbecue sauce.
It's just high fructose corn syrup sauce, actually.
As the #1 ingredient. Wow.
Which means, and fructose is extremely poisonous for the liver, for sure. And there's a ton of sugar in this, 13 grams per 2 tablespoons.
And that's the other thing, guys, pointer, right? Look at the serving side. They are really tricky. Marketers are really tricky. They'll put 1 teaspoon, 1 tablespoon. They'll make it very small serving sizes so the sugar content looks good. So at first glance, you're like, oh, only 1 gram of sugar, but it's like 1/4 teaspoon. Come on, guys, you're gonna do more than that. This is a great alternative. Primal Kitchen, again, one of our favorite brands. It has organic crushed tomatoes as the first ingredient. That makes a little bit more sense. Okay?
Whole food.
Whole foods. On to wheat thins. Yes, this is another one, guys. They are healthy alternatives out there. Simple Mills might be one of my favorite brands in the whole wide world. They make pancakes, crackers, yumminess basically in a box. And what are the ingredients on that one?
We got, for the Simple Mills, we've got nut and seed flour, cassava flour, organic sunflower oil, sea salt, onion, garlic, and rosemary extract.
All of which we know come from the earth, right? Whereas, what do we have here?
Wheat Thins has whole grain wheat flour, canola oil, which is a little bit of an inflammatory oil actually, sugar, cornstarch, malt syrup, salt, refiner's syrup, and then chemicals, calcium phosphate, things of that nature. So
again, we're putting in things that weren't meant in our body because they want this to live forever on the shelf. So this has a far larger shelf stability life than say something like this cracker because it's made more whole food based. But again, you can get minimally processed, yummy alternatives to these not so great ones. Lose the weight, keep the weight.
17 crackers, 11 crackers for those. You get less carbs, so you get more for less.
All right, the last two here. Dun, 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 dun. We'll do salad dressings because this is another sneaky one. They sneak in the really bad oils and sugar.
Distilled vinegar, water, soybean oil, which is very inflammatory. And then it just goes on to have xanthan gum, yeast extract, I don't even know what annatto extract is.
Probably poison.
But then you've got avocado oil, water, red wine vinegar, like just the basics of a dressing, onion powder, garlic, crushed red chili pepper, and thyme.
Absolutely, and that avocado oil, guys, is so anti-inflammatory. It's super healthy fat. We're really getting in those fats that we want. Whereas we have the soybean oil, which again is that rancid, refined, really highly inflaming oil, okay? Salt, oh, salt. Salt gets a bad rap. I love salt. We have our traditional table salt, and then we have salt like sea salt or Himalayan salt or Celtic salt, or there's a million other ones. The difference between the two is the minerals out of traditional salt, because these are refined and processed. A lot of those minerals that you'll find in sea salt have been pulled out, and all you have is just the salt. Whereas in this, you're getting some other additional minerals in them. So I always recommend, and this is just another pro tip, get rid of that guy, go for the sea salt, Himalayan salt, Celtic salt, anything like that, and definitely use it, guys. We have dehydration, I think is that 80% of Americans in the US have dehydration issues, and minerals play a big part. Another just fun tip that I start my mornings with is a pinch of sea salt in 8 ounces of water with a squeeze of lemon. I've just created an electrolyte drink that's gonna help me keep my hydration and levels high throughout the day. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment with any questions below. Give this video a big like, and don't forget, most importantly, to move to a better you.